Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, make a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss, that's fact, taking big swings, bitch, hand me the bat, put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag, cause I sing what I mean and I bring it to the mad light, ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel, I took the red pill, I know life's short so I wanna live real, but how's it supposed to feel? 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 They wanna say my name, but they holding back. They wanna say they hate, but they know it's cap. I ain't play no games, I just do that's fact. And I don't feel no shame, it's a mood you lack. I go crazy, nah bitch I ain't lazy. Track after track, I work on this shit daily. Pass me the jack, right as fuel, got me hazy. About to unpack all these youth I've been chasing. I got visions in my head, like memories after death. To be a legend instead of something you can forget. I'm living up every breath, I'd rather lead than be led. I'll fill the seats as I spread with every word that I've said. How's it supposed to feel?
How does it feel?
How's it supposed to feel?
Hey guys, how you going? I have a fan. It's in my computer and it's making a lot of noise. I wasn't expecting that this morning. But anyway, let's continue on. This is going to be a 40,000 foot view of what is going on today. Okay, people are jumping. They're going, oh, well, no, we don't want to go to war. No one wants to go to war. Okay, that is not what's happening. How much of the precipice do you not know about? Okay, Anna Kaushik said, Trump posts on Truth Social, we know exactly where Iranian Supreme Leader Khamenei is hiding. We're not going to kill him, at least not for now. Donald J. Trump said, we know exactly where the so-called Supreme Leader is hiding. He's an easy target, but it is safe there. We're not going to take him out, kill, at least not for now. But we don't want missiles shot at civilians or American soldiers. Our patience is wearing thin. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Okay. A lot of people on X are jumping and they're saying, no, I don't support Trump anymore because he's going to get us into a war. People, relax and read Q. That's all I can say. You'd know what's going on if you did. Grant Stinchfield said, when it comes to keeping America safe, trust President Trump. We have Republicans buying into the fake news narrative that we're all on the verge of World War III. We are not. Okay, it's called the precipice. It's called that for a reason. Only at the precipice will people find the will to change. Il Donaldo Trumpo said, excited for the Iranian people. Imagine tasting bacon for the first time. I think Trump's liberating Iran from their corrupt regime that has all their women dressed in hijabs. Hello, CIA. We know what you do. Okay. We know this happens all over the world. It's happened for years. Trump's just undoing what's been done. Do you remember the Iranian women used to wear normal skirts and tops, but they were nicely modest and everything, but they were beautifully dressed? Yeah, and that changed when the three-letter agencies get involved and overthrow countries. David Nino Rodriguez said, scare event necessary. If this does happen to be a scare event, this is what switches command from SES, Senior Executive Services, to Chain Mountain, Trump military control. I don't know if I said that right. I'm sorry, guys. The next few moments, minutes, hours and days are critical. June and July will be months to remember. Pray. Definitely. Cat Turd said the 2020 election was rigged like we said, and Cash just declassified the proof. Apparently the CCP was involved, from what I've seen. I am yet to look up the actual details, but I do believe I have heard so far that the CCP were involved. Okay, Insurrection Barbie said not one person in the US or in Israel has called for the US to be fully involved in Iran. Not one single person has ever said the words boots on the ground. That's what fully involved means. A targeted strike is not full involvement or a war. It's a targeted strike. The hysterics and attacks on Trump, when so far he's done absolutely nothing, make you sound like lunatics who are losing the plot. And it is. I was following someone who call themselves Pepe Down Under. They seem to have changed their name now. But, yeah, they flip and flop all over the place, mate. I'd be very careful. And I am very careful. Because even Candace Owens and what's his name, the other guy, they're being called out. There's a lot of people being called out right now for flip-flopping all over the joint. Benny Johnson said, everyone stop and watch this. Arnold Schwarzenegger, you're not going to believe this, a legal immigrant, successful actor and former California governor, just left The View stunned. They attempted to get him to condemn ICE raids, and what did he do? He credited America for his success, promoted legal immigration and called out violent criminal aliens. Absolute masterclass. He said, I'm so proud and happy that I was embraced by the American people like that. Imagine I came over here with absolutely nothing and then to create a career like that. In no other country in the world could you do that. Every single thing is because of America. The key thing is that we got to do things legal. These people that are doing illegal things in America, and they're the foreigners, they are not smart. When you come to America, you are a guest and you have to behave like a guest. You have a responsibility as an immigrant to give back to America and to pay back to America and to go and do something for your community. I am stunned. Is anyone else stunned? Did anyone think that Schwarzenegger would turn around and stick up for it? Stick up for America? I didn't. Pastor Bob Joyce now on Virginia Giuffre. We're going to listen to this anyway, I think. Okay, she claims Epstein's alive. I think she is, okay. Exclusive, Virginia Giuffre's Dead Man Switch released. I've been murdered. This is the real Epstein list. Let's have a little listen.
If you're watching this, it means they got me. My Dead Man Switch activated automatically after I missed 2 scheduled check-ins. I had it set up months ago because I knew this day was coming. I did not die by accident. I was murdered to keep their secrets buried. My name is Virginia Louise Giuffre. I was one of Jeffrey Epstein's victims. I survived Little St. James, but survival came at a price. I saw too much, knew too much, and now they've silenced me. But it's too late for them. They thought killing me would bury their secrets, but this video is going to a few organizations I trust, ones that have been exposing the truth for decades. You know who you are. It's your job to continue this fight. I was 16 when they reeled me in. I worked at Mar-a-Lago, folding towels, cleaning lockers. My father kept the tennis courts immaculate. We were just working folks trying to scrape by. Trump, he was around, but he was never the threat. The real predator was Ghislaine Maxwell, prim and proper, smiling, promising to teach me massage therapy at the Pink Mansion in Palm Beach. I had no idea I was being fed into a nightmare machine. Epstein's Island was hell disguised as paradise. You've heard some names linked to him, but those are just the sacrificial pawns. The real players, the ones they've protected at all costs, are still hiding in plain sight. I'll name two now. The first, a former U.S. president, Barack Obama. Publicly, he's revered. Privately, he was one of the worst. He wasn't there for the girls. He was there for the island boys. Young boys, trafficked and groomed. I saw him more times than I can count, always without his Secret Service detail, sometimes with his Hollywood friends, George Clooney and Tom Hanks. I still have nightmares about them, arrogant and drunk on power, slinking into the cabanas with kids barely out of childhood. The second, Bill Gates, the billionaire philanthropist, loved by the media, hailed as a savior. We called him the benefactor, and we used to dread seeing him naked. But he didn't come to party. He came to experiment. Genetic experiments, human experiments. I saw him inject a young girl with something they said was a genetic enhancement. She was younger than me, strapped to a table, terrified, treated like a lab rat while they muttered about seeding the future of the species. These men think they are gods, playing with life like it was theirs to own. I'm telling you now, Epstein isn't dead. They staged his death because he was too valuable. He held blackmail on some of the most powerful people on Earth. Files, videos, confessions. They couldn't risk him talking, but they also couldn't risk him gone, so they hid him. Stashed him under the protection of the same elite who once paid him to supply them with flesh. And they thought killing me would stop this from coming out. They were wrong, and there is so much more to come. Hidden servers, encrypted drives, witness testimonies. It's all going to hit the light. This video is just the first detonation. The data drops are timed and automatic. They are going to people who can make a difference, and nobody can stop it now. Not even the law enforcement agencies in the US and UK, the same ones that buried the evidence I handed them, can stop this truth from getting out. If you're watching this, you are the resistance. Don't let my death be just another headline. Burn their lies to the ground. Make the world see the monsters behind the masks. And to any survivors out there, don't give up. We're in this together. They can't kill us all. Make them pay.
Okay, now I played that.
If you're watching this, it means...
Even though I'm pretty sus on her as well, because she was a part of it in the end. She did recruit other women, young girls, sorry, and did the same thing that Ghislaine did in the end. That's why I'm wary of her, and I have a right to be. But I thought I'd play that so you can make up your own mind. I don't want to tell you what to think, okay? As always, do your own research, but I want to play you everything I can find on different subjects, okay? Including this one. Doge designer breaking Elon Musk publicly challenges the New York Times and Wall Street Journal to take drug tests and publish the results. This comes shortly after he released his own clean drug test results, following false allegations by legacy media. Remember when we thought he was on drugs, or, it looked like he was? How do we know that wasn't a fake? But he's released it, he's drug-free, okay? Now he's challenging New York Times and Wall Street Journal to do the same thing. DC Drano said, I agree with everyone saying no more troops sent to the Middle East, but also want to remind folks, President Trump is not going to drag us into Afghanistan 2.0. He won't drag us into Iraq 2.0. He won't drag us into Ukraine 2.0. He won't allow Hamas October 7th 2.0. We had peace during his first term, and you know how he accomplished that? By dropping Moabs on the Taliban, unleashing America's military on ISIS, and dropping bombs on Iranian generals. Peace through strength, not pure isolationism. He won't drag us into newer forever conflicts, but he will use America's military to punch some people in the face and get them back to the negotiating table. He's been very consistent on this and will continue to do it. Yep. Okay, here we go. Make of this what you will. Hans Shaunity, instead of Sean Hannity, Hans Shaunity, said they're freaking out because they're losing control. Owens, Carson, Carroll, Smith, Hodge twins and the rest of the jihadicons never really had control, but they thought they did. Today's the final nail in the coffin of these grifting morons. They have nothing. They have zero influence. They're a laughing stock. They're losers. Good riddance. They made enough money, but the jig is up. Make of that what you will too. I know some people like Candace Owens. I do. Like, she has told the truth about certain things. Okay, same as Carlson. And Ian Carroll was the other one I was trying to work out the name of. Smith. Who's Smith? Hodge twins, I know who they are. But they're all flip-flopping. All of them. Okay, Rob Smith sent another flotilla of aggressive Chinese warships is heading our way, Australia. Like last time, live fire will be used. Flight path disruptions are expected. Card-carrying communist Anthony Albanese's cosy with China. Make no mistake, this is dangerous. I believe the United States knows this about Albanese. God help Australians and God help Australia. Okay, we got more Chinese warships set to enter Aussie waters. And we have Donald J. Trump again. We now have complete and total control of the skies over Iran. Iran had good sky trackers and other defensive equipment, and plenty of it. But it doesn't compare to American-made, conceived and manufactured stuff. Nobody does it better than the good old USA. Good on you, Trump. I know what you're doing, and I'm behind. Look, I don't care. I'm behind him because I know there's a method to the madness. And you will know that if you just go and read that. Well, maybe not. We had a lot of people deciphering what it actually meant. How many years ago now? 7, 8 years ago? Who've all been deleted off YouTube, by the way. Some of them are coming back slowly. Charlie Kirk said, I've seen this movie before. People freak out, believe half-truths online, freak out even more, and then Trump ends up being right. Take a breath, wait a few days, and you'll see. That's what I do. Wait, exactly, Raven, trust the process. And if you want to make fun of people saying, oh, trust the plan, yes, do. If you've read this, you'd know. But anyway, and hey, for the people calling this a conspiracy theory, how many conspiracy theories have come true? I just want to ask people that. Okay, interesting take, Gareth Ike. The tinfoil hat rabbit hole I'm most rooting for right now is that nukes aren't real. Been there, done that. Keep looking, mate. Okay, you know that little diorama of that we all see that's put forward as real footage of the nuclear bomb wiping everything out, people sitting there and just getting wiped out, you know? Yeah, it's fake. Flat Out Earth said, this has been hitting me hard all day. My ears are burning and ringing like crazy. I've zero energy, but I still can't fall asleep. This was me yesterday too. Or the day before, and the day before, actually. Is anyone else feeling this too? The Schumann resonance went absolutely berserk when everyone thought we were going to war. So that is humanity's resonance, I believe. Not just the Earth. Sorry, I nearly hiccuped. It's not just the Earth's resonance, I believe it is human resonance. There's another conspiracy theory for you. I plucked that one out of my behind. But that's what I think. I think it is human resonance, okay? It's Schumann resonance. Take the SC out. SC, yeah, and you got HU, yeah, okay. I'm not sure that's exactly how it's spelled, but that's what it reminds me of. Because this is what happened when everyone thought we were going to war. Okay, X alerts breaking. Trump orders his entire National Security Council to be present and prepared in the Situation Room upon his arrival in DC 23 hours ago. Which is also, I'm not sticking up for Anthony Albanese, but the reason Trump didn't meet with Anthony Albanese is because part of it was because he had to go to the Situation Room as quickly as possible. Okay. But I do believe he knows what Albanese is. And he's waiting to give it to him. That's what I think. Joe M. said things are unfolding in the exact manner as meticulously planned down to the last details. Some of you will be on the wrong side of history and the window of opportunity to right yourselves is quickly closing. When you were told biblical was a way to direct you all to read the Bible, Old Testament. Have you? Yes, I have. All the way through. I got a cough. Hang on a sec, guys. Oh. That's it, Deb. It's Cheyenne Mountain. Jim, thank you so much. I've got a cough again. Yes, thank you, Jim. It's Cheyenne Mountain. I wish that one would get stuck in my head. Julie Donuts said, still way too many people ignoring what's going on in our country and abroad. That's why a scare event is necessary, like it or not. Let's just have a little quick search over here. I'm going to search precipice first. Okay, here we go. MSDNC con, the country's divided, and Dementia Joe currently taking early stage dementia medication. And when was this? This was back in 2020. Is leading across the board. How do you amplify a desired theme narrative? MSDNC controls what you see, digital echo. Twitter, Facebook, Google control what you see and what trends, digital echo. Hollywood stars swarm to enforce trend, echo. Blue check marks swarm to enforce, digital echo. Antifa swarm to enforce, non-digital echo. Rage and emotion followed by those indoctrinated, echo controlled. Define indoctrinate. To often repeat an idea or belief to someone in order to persuade them to accept it. Next, grab rage and emotion, organise platforms by indoctrination and project as majority. Zoom and enhance, narrow focus as mainstream. System of control. Many choose the path of least resistance. For many, you cannot tell them the truth. You must show them. Only at the precipice will people find the will, the strength, to change and break the system of control, to be free. Okay, they have said it over and over again. The swamp runs deep. Sometimes you cannot tell people the truth. You must show them. Only then at the precipice will people find the will to change or to participate, to stand up. We the people have been betrayed for a long time. Will you stand for God and country, for freedom, for humanity? Where we go, one? Okay, important to understand. Only at the precipice, moment of destruction, will people find the will to change. We are at the precipice, swamp fighting back. Remain calm. We're here for a reason. Patriots are in control. And what was the other one I was going to look up? Oh, dear God. Okay, I'll come back to it. Oh, I've forgotten. That's how bad. A scare event. That was what it was. Okay. Where is it? Who see they're even asking salary of a US senator, salary of a US congressman or woman, salary of a US president, salary of a US vice president, net worth pre-office, net worth post-office. How do elected officials become mega multimillionaire? Corruption, logical thinking. Hello? Okay, I'm trying to find it, guys. There's the red green castle, dark to light. Mentioned Five Eyes. Oh, where is it? Watergate times 1,000. Well, there's the first one. Threats, scare tactics deployed, fear not. Okay, I'm just trying to find it, guys. Okay, I'm still trying to find it. Sorry, guys. I think I should look up event, maybe. Here we go. We are fighting for life. We are fighting for good. We are at war. Not everything will be clean. Scare event necessary. Scare necessary event. Do you trust the US military? Do you trust the chain of command? Have faith. We are in control. Patriots, Patriots Day. Have faith. You were chosen for a reason. You're being provided the highest level of intel to ever be dropped publicly in the history of the world. Use it. Protect and comfort those around you. Where we go one, we go all. 80% dark ops necessary, 20% public for justice. Okay? Stage must be set. So just understand, just don't be scared. Look, it will scare people, but try not to, just try to sit back, take deep breaths. You'll be okay. X-Alert said breaking. The White House denies Israeli news report claiming the United States is attacking Iran. What's going on? The White House has denied Israeli news report because Israeli news reported that the United States is attacking Iran. The White House said, no, we're not. And here, another one, Luke Radowski, Gulf of Tonkin 2.0. They're sending a carrier that's scheduled to be decommissioned next year. Yeah, that would be part of the show. But if you had read this, which I'm pretty sure he thinks is a conspiracy theory, then, okay, you will know, you would know. Cat A said, big news just in. Senator Jacinta Price in the Northern Territory joined New South Wales and the South Australian Liberals in demanding net zero be dumped. And the reason I included this, I know I reported on it yesterday, is because I didn't know New South Wales and South Australian Liberals were doing the same thing. Okay? Andy No said Antifa allied accounts have been on spreading unverified accusations that pregnant rioters have experienced miscarriages after police responded to their violent attacks at the ICE facility in Portland, Oregon. What the hell are pregnant people doing? Pregnant women, sorry, not people. Pregnant women doing at riots. The posts, which are presented with no evidence, are used to incite people online to mobilise to the building in the ongoing insurrection. So they're desperate. They're trying any which way possible to get people to join them. Clandestine said Trump is basically spoon-feeding it to us. He says that he gave Iran a 60-day deadline to make a deal. They said no, and on the 61st, you saw what happened. Here's my take. Trump's been standing in the way of Israel attacking Iran, giving them an opportunity to come to a diplomatic resolution without direct war. Iran refused Trump's offer to abandon their nuclear program, so Trump stepped out of the way of Netanyahu, because Trump had previously stopped Netanyahu, told him no. Now Trump claims Iran wants to make a deal. Trump just proved to Iran he's not messing around, that he follows through on his threats and that their survival relies on Trump's protection. Trump essentially went full mafioso on Iran. I'm not saying I agree with it, but that's what I think happened. Additionally, I don't believe Trump has any plans of dragging the US into this conflict directly. He has no desire for a prolonged war involving US troops. All he wants is for Iran to submit, give up the nuclear program and reach an economic deal. If Iran chooses to make a deal, Trump will step back in the way of Netanyahu. So there you go. Yeah, don't lose your head, folks. Remember, we're watching a movie. You remember, to show, you can't tell them. You have to show them. Peter Sweden said it's happening. Over 27,000 people in Norway have now signed a petition against forcing farmers to use Bovea. In just a few days, Norwegian Parliament will likely vote to essentially force farmers to feed cows Bovea. This chemical is known to be toxic and suspected of damaging fertility or the unborn child, according to official safety documents. Farmers must wear personal protective equipment when handling this stuff, just like fluoride in our water. They have to wear personal protective equipment when handling it and putting it into our water. Yeah, I think people will catch up very soon. I really do, because it's just going to get quicker and quicker. All this stuff happening is going to get quicker and quicker. X-Alert said breaking, at least a dozen American warplanes now headed to the Middle East, developing. That was on 17th yesterday. Oh, depends. It's the 17th today in the USA, but because I'm in Australia, it shows me because it's the 18th here today, it shows me it was a day ago. Mick Amias said Tucker has more support now than what he did when he was on Fox. This isn't a good move by Trump. The MAGA AF base is about to massively divide. See, and look, all these people are just flip-flopping all over the place. OSINT defender said, whoa. Donald Trump said, somebody please explain to kooky Tucker Carlson that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. He's not really having a go at Tucker. He's just saying kooky Tucker Carlson. Oh, my goodness. Spit it out, Hev. Okay, and the Australian. Don't know how true this is, but, because I don't trust media, mainstream media. But a disability care business co-founded by a former bankrupt businessman that services some of the most vulnerable people in Australia is in turmoil. It's failing to pay its staff and suppliers as it faces a federal investigation into its taxpayer funding from the NDIS, I believe. Okay, silenced SIRs breaking. 2 giant cargo planes flying from China to Iran turned off their tracking signals before entering Iranian airspace. Reports suggest they may be carrying military supplies. Sounds like a rumour to me. Okay. C3 said, why haven't some of the smartest people figured this out? Let Trump be Trump. Let the man operate. Don't panic at the first hint of something you don't like. Almost every time he ends up winning. Read his book. Oh, dear. Look, you can flip-flop as much as you like. I don't care. I understand. Believe it or not, I do. You're hearing this, you think it's true, so I don't want war either. But because I followed certain things, I kind of know that what you see first, straight off the bat, is not necessarily what's going on, especially when it comes from mainstream media, which is a huge problem because a lot of people listen to them. Even if they say they don't, they still do. Look, even I quote them sometimes. Okay, the Australian is a mainstream thing. Okay, so I don't blame people. I'm not, I just think, if you had have kind of looked at this before this, you'd have an idea of what is happening. You might not know the whole thing, but you've got an idea. And you know to sit back and hang off for a few days. Dr. Malouf said Iranian people challenged the Islamic regime by singing, dancing and removing their hijabs, whatever, all of which are forbidden and punishable by death under Sharia law. They're literally risking their lives here. The Islamic regime of Iran must be destroyed. Free Iran. Iranians are actually behind Trump, believe it or not. She took her hijab off. Hang on. All I can think of is the, you know how that we've seen the pictures of like Iranian women in 1970s and then now with the hijabs on? That's all I can think of when I see this kind of stuff. They were free people until they were overthrown. And Luke Radowski again said Donald Trump just told 10 million people to evacuate. That was, I believe that was, yesterday, okay. Iran should have signed the deal. I told them to sign. What a shame and a waste of human life. Simply stated, Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. I said it over and over again. Everyone should immediately evacuate Tehran. And that was before everything else happened. So now he's got, like, the skies over Iran are under control, he said, okay. Okay, Awakened Outlaw said spicy and precipice, you say? The precipice? Only at the precipice will people find the will to change? Yep, I believe so. And that's what we're seeing. That's why, look, people can flip-flop all they like. That's what we're seeing. They're getting to the precipice. Some people just don't know what's going on. They believe everything the media tells them. Mark PG said Elmer Fudd can pack his nappy away. Trump has snubbed him, leaving G7 a day early. No new meeting has been arranged. Elmer can now go on his usual selfie tour with other world leaders, which he is doing, by the way. Okay, Cat Turd said not only do lizard people really exist, sometimes they marry. And that is a joke, obviously, you know. But, yeah, I don't know, look at him. Huma Aberdeen and, what's his name, Alex Soros? Yeah, two weirdos. She tends to marry these wiener-type men, doesn't she? Like these little weenies? I don't know. The Rubber Duck said, wait till the world finds out about Melania. This will make perfect sense. What's this? Forwarded from Lisa J. Let's have a look. Oh, this is supporting yesterday's... Oh, my God, I was just thinking about this. We just saw checkmate by the Queen with the support of the King. At one point, the military comes up and supports too. This is real-life chess move. Okay? Real-life chess moves. Moves and counter moves. They're moving all over the place. And then someone's going to show us, okay? Now, a queen cannot checkmate a king by itself in chess. A king and queen can checkmate, but the queen alone cannot deliver checkmate without support of the king. Okay, let's see. In chess, the queen is often seen as protecting the king because of her powerful movement and ability to control many squares on the board. This is for me because I have no idea what chess is about. Here are a few reasons why this dynamic is emphasised. Mobility and power. The queen can move any number of squares in any direction, horizontally, vertically and diagonally. This allows her to cover a wide area around the king, protecting him from threats and potential checks. The king, on the other hand, can only move one square in any direction, making him more vulnerable. Strategic value. The queen is the most valuable piece after the king, and protecting the king is often primary objective in chess. If the king is safe, the queen can operate more freely and aggressively. Conversely, if the queen is put in danger, it can limit the king's safety. Endgame considerations. In many endgame scenarios, the queen often plays a crucial role in both attacking and defending. Keeping the king safe while using the queen to control the board can be a key strategy. Checkmate patterns. Many checkmating patterns involve the queen delivering the final blow while the king remains protected. The queen's ability to control squares makes it easier to corner the opposing king while ensuring the player's king is shielded. Overall, while both pieces play important roles in protecting each other, the queen's versatility and strength making her a primary defender of the king in many situations. There we go. Very interesting. Something I didn't know because I don't play chess. DOQ said, remember when Dan Bongino, belittled the single most greatest aspect of the Great Awakenings? Anons? I remember. Yeah, even Dan Bongino has gone against them. Yep, called us conspiracy theorists. Funny that. How many conspiracy theories have come true lately? I'm just asking for a friend, you know. Rob Smith said, see who welcomed Albo to Canada. Canada is as woke as Australia. Leftists ruin everything. Okay, much virtue signalling there. And then we have this retards down under. This retard tied a male escort up and beat him with a metal chain. He's currently feuding with J.K. Rowling. Why did The Voice Australia have this weird retard as a coach? Oh, dear God. I don't know, but I thought it was interesting. King Arthur fans said the Matrix is glitching, nothing feels right, the blue skies faded to white. Have to keep asking myself what day it is, hours are slipping by. I feel floaty and out of it at times, and the NPCs have become utterly unbearable. Is anyone else feeling this way? I mean, I'm floaty and out of it most of the time, but, you know. I've got a cough again. Oh, no. There you go. So the Matrix is glitching. Nothing feels right. The blue sky's faded to white. Mine looks quite blue at the moment, thank God. Robin Atkins said, last Friday my minor daughter and I were in Marshall's. She went to the dressing room to try on delicates. While she was in the dressing room, she heard a male voice in the changing room next to us. She froze, unsure how to proceed. I came in shortly after to check on her. I heard him too. He was over 6 foot tall, talking loudly and in a dressing stall with someone else. Based on their conversation, he wasn't trying on clothes. He was there for the thrill of it. I loudly stated no men should be in this dressing room. Other women there vocally agreed. He and his friend giggled, clearly enjoying the discomfort of girls and women. This is what the breakdown of societal safeguarding does. This shit has to end. Young ladies should not have to game plan how they're going to remain safe and private from the male gaze on women's spaces. To their credit, when I alerted a Marshall's employee to the situation, they went in to escort him out. Because they're just now taking liberties. It doesn't matter if it's over, like we think it's over in the mainstream. They're still doing it. And Divine Consciousness said, something has changed. Has the switch been flipped? Well, I don't know, because YouTube are letting more things go. So, I don't know. We'll have to see, I think. Okay, thread, how Netanyahu was pressured to back the Iraq war even as an Israeli intelligence warned against it. I always bring the receipts. Please fact check me. I live for debunking lies. I don't care if they're pushed by the right or the left. All sources are provided in the last post on the thread. Oh, God, let me cough again. Oh, thanks, Deb. Yeah, everyone mentioned is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Oh, and everything is theory until proven fact. And I've got a cough again. Big drink of tea. Number 1. In 2002, the Bush administration was scrambling to sell the Iraq war. They needed foreign validation, and they turned to Benjamin Netanyahu, a hawkish former Israeli PM with ties to US conservatives, to publicly back regime change in Iraq. Netanyahu was not in government at the time, but the Bush team, especially the neocon faction, Wolfowitz, Feith, Pearl, etc., pressured him to testify before Congress, knowing he would deliver the message they wanted. He did just that. In September 2002, Bibi told Congress there's no question whatsoever Saddam is seeking and working and is advancing towards the development of nuclear weapons. He compared Saddam to Hitler. He promised Iraq's fall would cause a regional domino effect in a good way. But what few know is that Israeli intelligence and military officials privately warned the US to tread carefully. They said Saddam was contained. He had no nukes. Iran was not Iraq. Iran, not Iraq, was the true threat. According to Israeli journalist Nahum Barnea, Netanyahu is directly courted by Bush officials and neocon think tanks like the LBRY to bolster the US case. I've got a cough again. Why? Bibi had US conservative credibility. He was fluent in American media. The pressure wasn't just informal. Israeli diplomats were asked to not contradict the American line in Iraq. Nah, I'm having a coughing fit. Okay. Even as the Mossad and IDF brass warned privately that removing Saddam would empower Iran, Washington expected Israeli silence or support. Behind closed doors, Israeli officials like Meir Dagan, Mossad and Amos Yadlin, IDF, resented Netanyahu's appearance, saying it gave false legitimacy to a war they feared would destabilise the region. They believed Netanyahu had succumbed to American political pressure. Indeed, Bibi's own strategic instincts aligned with Bush's, but the timing and intensity of his support were largely driven by outside expectations. He later claimed if Saddam remained, Israel would be in danger, but Israel military assessments didn't back that view. What happened next? The war removed Saddam, Iran filled the vacuum, militias flourished, and Israel found itself closer to Iran's proxies in Iraq, Syria and Lebanon than ever before. Ironically, the same neocons who pressured Bibi later distanced themselves from the war's outcome. And Netanyahu? He pivoted fully to an anti-Iran posture, arguing that Iraq war made Iran more dangerous and must now be countered with strike on Iran. And here is all the sources. Netanyahu testimony, Congressional, September 2002, Rise and Kill First by Ronan Bergman, Haaretz interviews with IDF and Mossad leaders, The Assassin's Gate by George Packer, reports from Israeli diplomats at the time, and it goes on and on. Okay. Interesting. Just thought I'd put it out there. Okay. Now I've got to blow my nose. Sorry, guys. This is ridiculous. And I didn't... Oh, God. Okay. Rob Smith said Kevin Rudd worked for months to secure a 20-minute meeting with Donald Trump and Anthony Albanese. Trump refused and is returning to the White House. Albanese's a political outcast. Trump knows of the criticisms Albanese and Rudd have directed at him for years. It's caught up with them. The only reason Albanese and Rudd attended the G7 was for the meeting. It has collapsed because Albanese is a failure globally and he and Rudd smeared Trump, leading to consequences. Okay. I don't know. I think it's two reasons. I think that he had to be in the Situation Room, and also for this reason, he knows what Albanese is. Oh my God, Obama looks like he's about to start kissing Justin Trudeau there. Okay, the last thing. The vigilant fox, he went off script and exposed everything. At the G7 in Canada, President Trump made sure every second counted, dropping major revelations on trade, foreign policy and the future of mass deportations. But the biggest truth bomb? He called out Obama and Trudeau directly for pushing Russia away and triggering a global realignment. Before the G7 working sessions officially began in Alberta, President Trump and Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney stepped in front of reporters. It was supposed to be a brief press stop. Instead, it turned into a revealing exchange that touched on everything from trade and war to the global balance of power, and it didn't take long for Trump to take control of the spotlight. First up, the Canadian trade deal. Asked about the ongoing trade negotiations with Canada, Trump pointed to a basic difference in strategy between himself and Carney. The issue wasn't hostility, he explained, but philosophy. It's not so much holding up. I think we have different concepts, Trump said. I have a tariff concept. Mark has a different concept, which is something that some people like. He made it clear he prefers the direct approach. I've always been a tariff person. It's simple, it's easy, it's precise, and it just goes very quickly. Carney, he noted, favours a more intricate model, also very good, Trump added, but the goal is to examine both frameworks and find a compromise. We're going to look at both and we're going to come out with something, hopefully. When a reporter asked whether a deal could be finalised in a matter of days or weeks, Trump offered a measured yes. It's achievable, but both parties have to agree. Then the conversation took an unexpected turn. Trump went off script and exposed the truth. Without any prompting, Trump pivoted from trade and toward one of the most consequential foreign policy decisions in recent memory, Russia's expulsion from the G8. Standing beside Canada's leader, whose own predecessor played a role in that decision, Trump suggested that the West's attempts to isolate Moscow may have had catastrophic consequences. The G7 used to be the G8, he said. He called out Obama and Trudeau directly. Barack Obama and a person named Trudeau didn't want to have Russia in, and I would say that was a mistake because I think you wouldn't have a war right now if you had Russia in. Trump wasn't just critiquing a past decision, he was linking it directly to the war in Ukraine. According to him, the moment Russia was pushed out of the room, the chance to avoid future conflict was lost. They threw Russia out, which I claim was a very big mistake, even though I wasn't in politics then, I was loud about it. For Trump, diplomacy only works if the major players are at the table, even adversaries. It was a mistake that you spent so much time talking about Russia, but he's no longer at the table. It makes life more complicated. You wouldn't have had the war. Then, turning the focus to himself, he drew a line between two timelines. One with him as president, one without. You wouldn't have a war right now if Trump were president 4 years ago, he said, but it didn't work out that way. Before reporters could even digest that, Trump dropped another geopolitical bombshell, this time about Iran. Asked whether there'd been any signs that Iran wanted to back down from confrontation, Trump didn't hedge. Yeah, he said they'd like to talk. That revelation, stated so plainly, marked a significant shift. For the first time publicly, Trump confirmed that Iran had signalled interest in de-escalating tensions. But the president made clear that Tehran's window of opportunity had already narrowed. They shouldn't have done that before, he said, recalling a missed 60-day negotiation window. On the 61st day, I said we don't have a deal. Still, he acknowledged the stakes remain high for both sides. They have to make a deal, and it's painful for both parties, but I would say Iran is not winning this war. Then came a warning that carried the weight of real urgency. They should talk, and they should talk immediately before it's too late. It was a signal, a challenge, and perhaps a final opening before escalation becomes the only language left on the table. The conversation eventually turned back home. He openly declared war on blue sanctuary cities protecting illegal immigrants or criminals. Pressed about his latest directive to ICE, Trump confirmed he's instructing agents to focus on sanctuary cities, Democrat-run jurisdictions. He accuses of shielding violent criminals for political gain. Trump defended the move, saying the worst offenders are concentrated in major blue cities. I look at New York, I look at Chicago. I mean, you've got a really bad governor in Chicago and a bad mayor, but the governor is probably the worst in the country, Pritzker. He just kept going. I look at how that city's been overrun by criminals, and New York and LA. Look at LA. Those people weren't from LA, they were from California. They weren't from California, most of those people, many of those people. Trump said the surge in crime, particularly in urban areas, isn't accidental. It's a direct result of border bloodbath caused by Biden administration. Biden allowed 21 million people to come into our country. Of that, vast numbers of those people were murderers, killers, people from gangs, people from jails. They emptied their jails into the US. Most of those people are in the cities. All blue cities, all Democrat-run cities. Trump ended on a concrete vow. He will never allow the Democrats to run their illegal alien election playbook. They think they're going to use them to vote. It's not going to happen. Just as the press corps seemed ready for more, Prime Minister Mark Carney stepped in. The momentum had unmistakably swung toward Trump, and Carney knew it. With a measured smile and raised hands, he brought the impromptu briefing to a close. If you don't mind, I'm going to exercise my role, if you will, as the G7 chair, he said. Since we have a few more minutes with the President and his team, And then we actually have to start the meeting to address these big issues. So Trump didn't push back. He didn't need to. He already made his mark, dropping headline after headline, shifting the centre of gravity before the summit had even started. By the time Carney took control, it was already clear who owned the moment. Wherever Trump goes, he becomes the conversation. There you go. You can follow the Vigilant Fox on X. Yes, and that's it. So there we go. Very interesting news. Don't panic. Never panic. Stay calm. It's all good. Debbie, you like singing along to the intro too? Yeah, I have a bad habit of doing that. I think I shouldn't ruin it. Kai said 5th place, but on the move too, back as soon as possible. Deb said, I want to go on a road trip when she sees my intro. Carl, how you going? Sorry, out to lunch. Deb, how you going? Kai, how you going? Carl, how you going? Carl said, I'm your fan, Hev. Oh, God, love you. Oh, it's gone quiet. The fan in my computer's gone quiet. Couldn't do that in the beginning, could it? Jesus Christ. Bloody computers, mate. Out to lunch said there's an app that can locate where you are with a picture of part of the video. Wow. Hey, Paranormal Oz, how you going? Deb said we've been waiting for the scare event. Yep. Oh, there you go. Out to lunch. Cheyenne Mountains. Say like that. Thank you very much. Out to lunch. And Jim. I knew I was saying it wrong. I knew. Deb said, thank you. Yes, thank you. Out to lunch. Just pronouncing Cheyenne Mountain. Out to lunch said redneck spelling. I wish it was actually spelt the way I should say it. Oh, dear. Out to lunch said, manslaughter is man's laughter. It is too. Wow, real or not. That's not her real voice, no way. I'm on drugs. Meds, that is. Paranormal Oz said, same hard drugs. Oh, no, Paranormal Oz. Raven said, trust the process. Yeah, you're talking about Virginia Giuffre out to lunch, aren't you? Paranormal Oz, sorry, not her voice. Yeah, it could be. Totally faked. Yep, Raven, trust the process. Robert said 800-pound gorilla in the corner nobody wants to face. They are all transgender science project freaks. Spiritually awakened, can see them. They morph into ghouls, Franken-freaks, all of them. Yeah, out to lunch. Future proves past. The future will prove this is right. Okay? Disinformation's real. Distractions are necessary. Focus was US today. Real happening. SA under same context. Military control, martial law, missile strike. The Great Awakening. These crumbs are not meant to scare anyone, but merely inform. Resistance will be dealt with swiftly. The core focus is removing entrenched and fortified bad actors within our federal government, past and present, as well as others. Simply be diligent. Phone numbers will be provided if you witness an uprising or other domestic violence, in addition to 911. Any military scene is for your protection, as well as to demonstrate our resolve. The stage must be set. I can't help but go here because this is where you find out everything that's going on. Scare event necessary. Scare necessary event, sorry. So people will be scared, but that'll wake the rest of them up. So it's needed to wake people up because they can't be told. They have to be shown. Robert said Tokyo, Hiroshima and Nagasaki were nuked and doing fine. Yeah, they're all growing. Chernobyl, green as. Beautiful. I've seen people go there. It's beautiful. Out to lunch at Shoe Man Res. Yep, Jim said it. Deb, it's Cheyenne Mountain. Oh, God, I'm an idiot. I swear to God I know that, but I just temporarily forgot. I know it's not pronounced the way it looks. Anyway, hey, Robert. And Jim. And Raven. Jim said, hello, Deb, just lurking and spying, lol. That's cool. Robert said, hue means shade of colours. Hue man. Yeah, shade of colours man. Deb said, we'll blame the talk to text. Out to lunch said, Cheyenne Mountain doesn't like visitors because it's shy, lol. Hey, Deb said, kiss the little human for me, please, Raven. Love to you and your family. Paranormal Oz said, that's true, Rob. Deb said, get them out of their comfort zone. Paranormal Oz is laughing. Robert said, McDisneyland mentality ain't ever waken up. Hey, Geoloft, how you going? I have to run, but I wanted to pass on love and prayers to all of you guys. Love and prayers, all souls in this crazy world we're currently occupying. Yes, very interesting, isn't it? Paranormal, I said, what's the name of the keyboard you're looking on, Hev? I don't know if you can read that little tiny writing up the top here. If I go on and I take this off, I don't know if you can see that either. 17th letter of the alphabet, anon, or one word, .pub. You'll find it. It will tell you it's a phishing site. I've been on there for like 8 years. It's not a phishing site. Yeah, that's it. But it's got anon after the Q. Out to lunch. Deb said, please give our Hev a thumbs up. Deb said, don't lose your head, folks. It's all a show. Deb said, they'll be on the same page very soon. Yep. Deb said, Coles is using this on the cows. Yes, Coles and Woolies and that, aren't they? Raven said, if PPE is needed for the use of a chemical to do with food, why the heck would I want to eat it? Exactly. Deb said, buckle up, buttercups, hang on to your pearls. Yes, hang on to your hats, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to get rough. Paranormal Oz said, Coles Supermarket, you mean, Deb? Yes, they have been using Bovea. Paranormal said, I steal 14,500 of Coles' finest porterhouse. Whoa. Paranormal Oz, don't admit that on... Wow. As Deb said, fresh kill meat here in Australia is now being delivered start from farm to your door. Even farmers want to avoid supermarkets. Robert said, don't like thieves. Deb said, sorry, yes, Coles supermarkets in Australia are advertised they are now using fart-free cows. Deb said, all because men can't control themselves. Deb said, in that control region. Robert said, occipital lobes are abnormal, can't help themselves. Deb said, we'll be here for them when they realise we were right. Pat, God love you, how you going? Deb said, not just a normal chessboard. No, definitely not. Deb's laughing at me. Good. Right, I'm doing something right if you're laughing at me, people, right? So feel free to laugh at me. You won't insult me. Raven Lilith Moon said, totally agree with King Arthur fan. Matrix has a total brain fart. Yes. Out to lunch said, been so moist here, my grass is thick and tall. Deb said, all for entertainment purposes. Yep, Deb said, all here innocent until proven guilty. How you going, MRH? Good to see ya. Paranormal Oz said, only steal from corporations, all insured. Paranormal Oz, don't admit that shit. Seriously. Out to lunch said a bunch of debunked things are beginning to be rebunked, not D. China interference in Biden election, yes. Oh, God love you, Deb. Paranormal Oz said I probably worry more about the milk than the meat, but who knows, probably bad. Hey, damn it, Mandy, how you going? Stay warm, yes. I had to run up to the shed to get some kerosene for my kerosene heater I've got going in the background. I worked out a way to have a silent heater in the background while I'm streaming. It's kerosene heater. It doesn't make noise. Jim said, love your chat, Hev, and all the crazy Hevites, definitely. We're all nuts over here. That's cool. Damn it, Mandy said, I've missed a lot of the news lately. What was the We Don't Need a King or whatever that march was? Oh, that was the Democrats thinking that Trump was going to be king or something, or people thought he was the king. I don't know, but it fell flat because it was absolute bullshit to begin with. Yeah, they didn't get very far. Damn it, Mandy said, yes, the weather is so bad here. We are flooding and my tomatoes are drowning. Not sure how the gardens will turn out this year. My garlic likes it, though. Wow. I had a, what do you call it? A thing of garlic, you know, the whole bulb with bulbs in it, you know. What's it called? Not just one clove of garlic. It was the whole bloody thing. Anyway, it started growing in my cupboard, right? Oh, my goodness. It was growing roots in my cupboard. And it was growing green bits out the top. And I was like, okay, that can't be good. So I put it in a cup of water. And it's growing. So I'm going to plant it. Why not? I couldn't plant anything last year. It was absolutely bad year for planting. Up here, look, we got 9 months of winter where I am and 3 months of summer. So, yeah, it's hard to grow anything where I am. And I've got a cough again. Coughing all over the place. Deb said, yes, I remember the Kero heater. Damn it, Mandy said, I haven't seen the first bee. Not a one, no pollination. Oh, really? Deb said, yes, Hev, that is how you grow garlic. Hey, there's someone else on YouTube that I wanted to show you guys. No, not that. No, go home. Go home. Where's people I'm subscribed to? Oh, here. Okay. Where's that young girl? She's Irish. Another Irish person, guys. Geez, I'm subscribed to a lot of people. Blooms and Greens. This chick here, she's bloody good. She grows everything, like tomatoes, fermented garlic. She does fermented garlic, honey fermented garlic. She's like really kind of sarcastic and like just has little jabs like at the system, right? Okay, let's have a quick little listen. Hopefully I won't get done for this. Oh no, where's the volume?
Boss bitch, bad girl, energy vibes.
Hang on, I want to get it back to the beginning.
Do you know what annoys me lately? Is all this boss bitch, bad girl, energy vibes. Hold on now for a second, missus. Don't be getting your knickers in a twist. They make out that men and women are the same and we have the potential to do the same and reach the same heights as men. No, we don't. We are equal, but we're not the same. We need more fat than men. We need more sleep than men. We're not stress resilient as men. We have a 28-day cycle, while men have a 24-hour cycle. Lucky bastards. You sleep in a house that was built by a man. You drive in a car on a road that was built by men. Society would not be able to function without men. Rather than seeing each other as competition, we complement each other, and that's what makes the relationship between the two so beautiful. So the next time you look down on men as if they're shit on your shoe, remember all the hard work your father or your grandfather or great-grandfather has gone through. And don't be so disrespectful. Do you know?
Exactly. Now, she just like... Okay,
Do you know what annoys me, Lex?
Shh. I hate how they just autoplay. Fair use, fair use. Fair use. I'm just showing someone a new channel. Blooms and Greens by Chloe, her name is. She is fantastic. I really like this young lady.
Here we go again with Clementine, and she is...
Okay, Clementine's got a big bush. This is one of her tomato plants. She calls Clementine, okay? And it has so many tomatoes on it. but she explains why this might not be a good idea, okay? But you should grow one anyway. Anyway, that's another person who's really good. And Garen has just taken a break too. You know the guy I was showing you yesterday? Where is he, Garen? Garen. Hang on. Oh, look, I'm subscribed to Damn It Mandy. Where's Garen? There he is, this guy. The other Irish fella. Well, he's just taking a break. He just came up with his newest short, I won't be making videos for a while. He's goodbye for now, stay delicious. Okay, he is delicious, apparently. He keeps telling me. No, I love him. He's great. They're all great value, guys. So if you haven't subscribed to Garen Music, please do. He's funny as, especially his shorts. Yeah, damn it, man. You can't wait to see. One of these days you'll put out content. Just go and find a video on X and put it up as a short. I don't know what happened, but I did. And you know what happened? I put this guy dancing. Bro's got the moves, I called it, right? And Bro's got the moves, has 25,130. Hey, it had 27 the other day. What's going on, YouTube? Okay, anyway, for some reason, yeah, that did really well. And it's not in the news, okay? So when I put up shorts that are not the news, they do very well. Okay, let's have a look. Oh, there it is. Hang on, 33,722. Ah, the analytics are only 24 hours, that's why. Okay, Bro's got the moves, has 33,722. Trump asked if he'd pardon Diddy, 2,466. And Karen Chase's man singing I'm Happy is 13,670. There you go. I'm just tooting my own horn here. Oh, by the way, thank you for all the subs. I've jumped in subs too since releasing that short. Thank you, guys. Hope you don't mind the news because that's what I normally do. Oh, wow. But I throw out some really good shorts every now and then. Not often, but you know, it happens. Okay. Damn it, Mandy said you should consider a heat lamp to grow indoors. Yeah, I really should. I really should. Raven says split each clove and you will end up having heaps of garlic. Oh, I didn't think of that. I just planned the whole bloody thing. But maybe I should split it all up. Deb said, and all the crazies are not in the chat. Oh. Paranormal, I said, I'm here, Deb. Jim said, true that, Deb. Damn it, man. He said, YouTube's been unsubscribing people from channels they've been sub to for years. Yes, they've been doing that for years as well. I found that heaps of times. I've gone, hang on, I was sub to that channel and now I'm not. Excuse me, YouTube, I did not unsub. Deb said, yes, each garlic clove will become a plant. Yeah, Deb, love the Irish. Damn it, Mandy said, fair use, fair use. Deb said, thank you, fair use and learn gardening shows. Yes. And damn it, Mandy said, yay, one day, one of these days I'll put out content. Damn it, Mandy, I'll stay sub to you anyway. Don't you worry. Deb said, I love Irish wit. Deb said, I have 12 subscribers. Somehow my saved videos are on the channel. Oh, I didn't even think of going through my chat and just subscribing to everybody. Might be a good idea. Damn it, Mandy said, Grumpy's next live's going to be so funny. I hope you're there. I hope so too. I've got to get in the car and go for a drive, but hopefully I will be able to join and listen at least. I have been at people, like I've been at RTC's streams. I've been at a lot of MRE streams and I have been at some Grumpy streams, but I haven't commented because I was busy doing something or I was sick as a dog, one of the two. But definitely, damn it, Mandy, I'll try and be at Grumpy's next one. Dolores said for garlic, put the cloves apart and put them in the ground late fall or early winter. When weather gets really cool, each clove will grow a bulb. We've just harvested our garlic. Well, that's what I'm going to do. Deb said, more shorts, Hev. Damn it, Mandy said, my tomatoes are growing and covering my garlic, but not a single flower. The government's done something to the honeybees. Maybe I'm paranoid, but where did they go? Honeybees have been worried about, people have been worried about honeybees for at least 10 to 15 years that I know of. So, yeah, I don't know. Just keep an eye out for them, okay? Yeah, I haven't seen many honeybees around either lately. Has someone kidnapped the honeybees? Or are they just killing them? Raven said I should put out baking and gardening content one day. Yeah, all you guys who don't know what to do, just start doing gardening and baking, and it might grow slow, but it will grow. Look at me. I've been sitting on 400. Well, I was on 300 for ages. Deb said, yes, please, Raven. Deb said, yes, have cooking and lifestyle shows, exercising. Oh, Deb, you still want the square cookie? I'll have to make a square cookie one day. Damn it, Mandy said, yes, baking and cooking shorts get millions of views. Hey, Menacing Muskrat, how you going? I'm still a little bit sick, Menacing, just coughing and that. Like, mostly okay. Just still have a croaky voice. I'm still blowing the hell out of my nose. Never knew someone could be full of so much snot. And coughing up a lung. But hey, I'm all right. I'm still here. Deb said, yes, but how many channels? Hello, our Menacing. Damn it, Mandy said, how much are eggs over there? $12 for a carton of eggs. $1 an egg. Luckily, I have chickens and I get free eggs. Well, they're not free. I've got to feed those chickens, so it costs me, but I get free eggs. I got plenty of eggs. I should start selling them for like $8 a carton. Undercut the supermarkets. I can't sell them for that much though. I feel like that's too much. Damn it, man, you said, what the fuck? I paid $17 for 60 eggs, still too much. Yeah, we pay $12 for 12 eggs. $1 an egg. Deb said, it doesn't matter what people put up, it's content and it makes money. Look, seriously? This guy here, you know the guy I was just talking about? Garen? Go and watch what he does. Where am I? Go back to the actual... There. Go and listen. Okay? You can make shit up and just... You'll still do well. Not that he's not making shit up. I mean, you know, you can just stand there and be funny. Or, you know, just talk to people. Raven said, I can get 18 eggs for $8 from Aldi. Menacing Muskrat said, no, it isn't Hev. They are healthy, fresh eggs. What? What isn't? Deb said, I like following Hev around the house. It's been lots of fun. Damn it, man. He said, look at, who's that? Syrax. People watch him. Yeah, just be a funny cooking person or a funny gardening person. If you're funny, just add a bit of humour to it and you'll get people watching. Oh, you don't think it's too much, Menacing, you mean? You don't think that $8 is too much for a dozen eggs because they're healthy, fresh eggs? Is that what you were talking about? I should. Yeah, Deb said there's some really funny cooking ladies out there. So if you've got a bit of a sense of humour and you're gardening or cooking or whatever, start making little shorts. You could even make videos of what you're cooking. People will tune in. Damn it, man, he said, sell your eggs. Damn it, man, he said, hell no, $8 is a great price. Wish I were there, I'd go with you. There you go. Yeah, I'd have to stand out the front because people would steal your eggs. I don't know about here where I am, but people take anything that's not nailed down these days, you know. Everyone's desperate, mate. Anyway, guys, with that, I'm going to go. I'm going to go and see if I could, do we have farmers markets? There is a market, but that's only once a month. And if I just waited once a month to sell the eggs, they might be off. I don't know. I don't know how that goes. Unless I just open my car boot on the side of the highway and little sign saying fresh eggs, $8 per dozen. I might do that. You never know. Okay, anyway, I've got to go and do some stuff. And hopefully I'll be back tomorrow again. And hope to see you here. Yep, sell out of my trunk. Yep. Just hope to God the police don't stop and find me for it. Anyway, guys, I hope you have a good morning, afternoon or evening, wherever you are. And I'll talk to you soon. Have a good one, guys. Bye.